Very important fact for you to know. Whenever you're creating fire via friction fire, the char has to reach 800 degrees Fahrenheit before it'll form an ember and start to glow. Isn't that interesting? 800 degrees. That's why those things have to move at such a rapid pace. I don't want to. I'm going to. Tomorrow, I'm going to go try to find some pieces of wood that I can use to make friction fire. I want to be, apparently, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but from what I heard, consistently being able to start a friction fire, there's less than 500 people in the United States that can do it. That's a small fraction. I want to be part of that. I want to be a part of that number. Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Oliveira, and this is The Road to 40. In case you weren't listening to the last 181 episodes or whatever. This is 181. You know what that means? Tomorrow night is middle of the road. We've come to the middle of the road together. Isn't that crazy? We're actually beyond, right now, I'm at the point now where, I'll have more than 365 videos when all is said and done. The goal was to have 365, one a day, whether it was 2 minutes or 20 minutes or 2 hours. And we've made some leaps and bounds, and we've introduced some new segments that I'm a big fan of. I like being able to try snack foods. The Oreos have been fun, the Twinkies, and so on and so forth. And we got some other ones coming up, definitely. You know we do. Getting one. Malware Bytes. Ever since I've reinstalled it, I keep getting messages whenever I go to, well, I guess it would make sense. Not pornography. Alright, I can say it because there are some legal ones out there. Torrent sites. Yeah, to get my legal torrents. I would never download anything illegally. I want to be a politician maybe someday. You never know. If that door opened, I'd walk through it in a heartbeat. If I felt like I could genuinely make a change by taking a position in office, I'm not talking about president or, just even locally, I would totally be interested in that. I guess you gotta actually get off your ass and do something about it, and therein lies my problems. John Oliver is quickly becoming my boyfriend. He's awesome. He's the line. He steps over the line where I feel like Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart they cut it off at a joke even though they're meaning it seriously. John Oliver has the ability, a very talented gentleman, to turn a conversation very serious for a moment and be like, this is really happening, folks. You need to listen. And then bring it back into the humor side of it. He balances it perfectly, and it's almost not noticeable sometimes where all of a sudden you listen to him and you're like, oh wait a minute, he's telling the truth. Our laws about using drones in military operations are very specific and not so specific if you go a little bit deeper into them. And I just watched the video today about the drones, and it showed the article that they released and then compared it to how we actually tell the public. What we know and what's really going on are probably two very different things, my friends. I think the time for subtlety is over. I think it's, you look at these marches, 400,000, 500,000 people marched about global warming on Wall Street. Was it last week? Wall Street, I think, not Broadway. It wasn't an act. And, said what they had to say, but the coverage is so small. We get more bullshit in our news every single day. We hear about, Ebola, which is a big one. ISIS, a big one. But think about what that causes and creates. Tension, panic, animosity, people, it distracts you. It's a magic trick. Learn how magicians do magic, and it's almost always the art of distraction, having you look somewhere else while something else is going on. At least with these street magicians and stuff like that. The warlocks and sorcerers, though, watch out for them. The wizards, magicians, don't worry about them. But it got me to thinking, basically. I know we talk about this a lot, or we used to talk about this a lot. In the beginning, this was a very politically driven vlog, and I feel like I do need to come back to it a little bit. because I feel like I'm not genuine to myself, genuine of myself. I don't know. And I feel like I do have things I want to say, and I want the few people who do listen to this to learn, or at least to, like, you know, if you agree with me, let's try to spread the word a little bit more. I just feel like it's a time for I mean, global, certainly, change, you know what I mean? Like, we need to all start making people smile. We got to stop thinking about just ourselves and letting our ego drive us. Like, we need to smash down those walls. Like, I've gotten to the point where, like, I feel like something's got to happen soon. If it doesn't, I'd almost just rather go off the grid and, like, give up on everything. And that sucks. I hate feeling that way. But I feel like I've been really bummed out, like, these last few weeks. And I think it's just because, I mean, a big part of it is the complacency of just not wanting to talk about politics. Politics have driven me to the point where I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I don't care at all. Like, and I don't want to not care about politics, because they are important when they're good and they're working for the people and not working for old greenbacks. You know what I mean? I almost said the other one, which is racist, but I knew where I was going with that. So yeah. I just let's work together and try to make a change for the betterment of mankind. I don't think we need to give up. I don't think we should give up. I don't think anybody should ever give up and throw in the towel. I mean, is it okay to let somebody win every now and again? Yeah, but when it's this grand of a thing, like our freedoms, our future, you know, it really, I mean, obviously I'm a huge fan about talking about, you know, redistribution of wealth, and the rich are making way too much money. The people at the top compared to the people at the bottom, and they're making it on the backs of those people. And then when, you know, we force them to pay higher wages, they end up going somewhere else out of the country. You know, there's so many companies that have, like, their money in banks and all these places that it can't be taxed by the United States. Like, they're dodging that. And I mean, not like I pay taxes. I get paid taxes because I'm poor as shit. But that's okay. I don't mind that. Like, you know, I just wish it was more fair for everyone. I'd just be happy with that. Like, we're never going to all agree on gay marriage, or we're not all going to agree on the legalization of marijuana, or we're not all going to agree on, you know, so many things. Abortion, you know, all these things everyone has a right to an opinion to. But I think for humanity's sake, we need to be more liberal. We need to help people. We need to be more forgiving and, you know, and move on with a peaceful mind and heart collectively. Not just, you know, our leaders, but our leaders need to show this. Our leaders need to, you know, that's the problem is like our leaders are just paid for. They're just, that's how I feel. I really do. Like, you know, Obama promised a lot of things that didn't come to pass. I will say that. I don't think he has, especially with the southern borders and deciding, you know, how we're going to change our policy. What's the policy? One of those nights, and I can't find the words. Not foreign policy. I don't know. It doesn't matter. About legal citizenship. The road to citizenship. I can't think of the actual official term for it. But, you know, that never came to pass, and now it's on the back burner. And, like, we just have a government that's just fighting itself constantly. When is it going to come to blows? You know what I mean? Like, how far are we from that point? Can we turn it around? Can we come to a better decision? Like, can some smart, level-headed people sit down at a table and talk about this over a nice meal and perhaps a few good drinks? You know, but that's not the point. I think you got to take it back even a step further and realize that maybe it's not our politicians that are making all the decisions. Maybe it's, you know, there's so many lobbyists and people that pay to have their cause, you know, handled when that person gets in the White House, you know? It's all just money. we need to relieve, yeah, that's a good word, huh? Relieve all debt. Anyone who owes money in the world should not owe it anymore. That would, sure, it would bankrupt, credit card companies and a lot of banks. But I think if we could all start with a fresh slate, all making a decent living wage based on your family size and your needs, not your wants, but your needs. Like, you need to be able to have a house or rent a place. I think all those things need to be met, not by our government, but by employees. And I think maybe the cost of goods either has to come down a lot or pay has to go way up. I've been talking about, like, meat. I started eating meat again about 6 months ago. I can't remember when it was. And it has gone up. I remember I used to be able to get the highest quality meat, the 3% fat, for, I think it was like $4.68 a pound, $4.78 a pound. About a year ago, went up to $5 a pound, which was fine. Then ever since then, it's gone up anywhere from like 5 to 10 cents over the course of the last year. It's never stopped. It's now $6.38 for a pound that I was paying less than $5 for a while. But my pay hasn't changed, and I understand that because of the job I'm in. But it's this imbalance of who's getting the money and who's not. If it could just even come to here, it doesn't have to come to center. I mean, that's asking a lot to come to center, like everybody being even. I don't agree. I think the rich deserve to be rich. If they've come up with a product or a store or a concept or an idea, a program that is successful, they deserve to make more money than the lowest person in their company. However, I think you need to spread that out. I think you need to set some kind of percentages so that you're not making $5 billion a year and your lowest paid employee is making like $17,000. Like, that's not fair. Like, you could give half of everything you make for the year. It wouldn't affect you at all. You'd still live the lifestyle you wanted to live. Plus, everybody underneath you would be so much happier. Like, I'm just so tired of it. I'm just tired, and I'm tired of trying to change things that aren't changing. You know what I mean? Like, it's depressing. But I'm not giving up. I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm a fighter. I'm a poet. I'm a preacher. I've been to school, baby. I've been the teacher. Bon Jovi. Anywho, that's about what I had to talk about tonight. I keep saying I'm going to read chapters from this here book if you're watching and not listening. Or if you're listening and not watching. I was holding up Morning Star. But I'll do a whole separate thing for that. I won't even tie it into here. So if you guys want to go over there and do it, either that or I'll definitely do an audio book if I do that. Then I get to do all the voices. But it'd be weird if I did a video and did all the voices, because I'd constantly be looking up at my face. I know I would. Because I'm just too fucking sexy. Yeah. I'm just kidding. You guys have a great night. Thank you for always coming back. Tomorrow's a big episode for us. Maybe I can pull something out of my ass and work a miracle or something, but right now it's looking like it's just going to be you and me, which is fine. That's how we do. Don't forget to make somebody smile tomorrow. If you're loving these, please subscribe. Like them, comment. I'd love to answer questions or whatever. Oh yeah, and I joined the Ello, Geycen, or at Geycen, over on Ello, which is pretty lame right now. It's really lame. Maybe in a year's time, I just feel like it's just too simplistic right now. I like it, but there needs to be some kind of better menu system or a better way to organize. A better way to sort, better way to find and search. Yeah, pretty much all around needs to be better. I like it. It's a good idea. It's not a lot of information about people and movies and TV and news, and you just write shit. It's kind of like Twitter with a simplistic, very simplistic interface, I guess. You can share pictures and stuff, but... That went on way longer. That wasn't a plug either, because I'm not thrilled with Ello so far. Make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today. Tomorrow. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier together. Please, let's do this. Because I can't take this world. It's driving me mad. It's driving me crazy. You guys have a great night. I'll see you a little bit further on down the road on tomorrow's Middle of the Road episode, featuring some stuff that hopefully will be better than your average night. All right, you guys have a great night. Take care.